My name is Mark Henson, and for years, my job in corporate training meant I lived out of a suitcase. I traveled constantly, and my only real requirements for a hotel were a bed and a shower. I always went for the cheapest option. Why pay more when all you're doing is sleeping, right? That's how I ended up in Altoona, Pennsylvania, at a small, run-down hotel that felt like it was stuck in a different decade. The hallways had this worn, red carpet, and the whole place had a distinct, musty smell, the kind that's both nostalgic and a little unsettling. I checked in, got my key, and headed up to room 317 on the 3rd floor. The room itself was nothing special, just a standard bed, a small desk, and a window overlooking a quiet side street. It was clean enough, and most importantly, it was quiet. I dropped my bags, took a quick shower, and crashed into bed. The long drive had worn me out, and I fell asleep almost instantly. It must have been around 2 in the morning when a sound woke me up. It was a faint, scraping noise, like paper sliding across the floor. It was coming from the direction of my door. I lay there in the dark, listening, my heart starting to pound. Was it just the wind? Maybe something from the hallway? I tried to ignore it, but then it happened again. A soft, deliberate slide. I sat up, my eyes adjusting to the darkness. I couldn't see anything out of the ordinary. Finally, my curiosity got the better of my fear. I reached over and flicked on the bedside lamp. The room flooded with dim, yellow light. And there it was, a small, folded piece of paper lying on the carpet, just inside the door. Someone had pushed it underneath. My hands were shaking a little as I picked it up. It felt cold. I unfolded it slowly. The writing was messy, scrawled in what looked like black ink. It read, "I see you. You are not alone in this hotel." A chill ran down my spine. This had to be a prank, right? Some bored teenager or a drunk guest. I got up and checked the peephole. The hallway was empty. The dim, flickering light cast long, eerie shadows down the red carpet. I double-checked the deadbolt. It was locked tight. I tried to rationalize it, to brush it off, but I couldn't go back to sleep. I just sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the door, listening. About 30 minutes later, it happened again. That's a soft sliding sound. Another note. I waited a full minute before I dared to get up and retrieve it. This one was more direct. "I was in your room before you got here. I know what you look like when you sleep." My blood ran cold. This was no longer a prank. Someone had been in my room. I thought back to when I arrived. Did I leave the door unlocked? No, I was sure I hadn't. I scanned the room, my eyes darting into every corner, half expecting to see someone hiding in the shadows. The wardrobe, the bathroom, under the bed. Nothing, just silence. But the silence was deafening now, filled with a sense of dread. I was contemplating calling the front desk, or maybe even the police, when the 3rd note appeared. It slid under the door so silently this time that I almost didn't hear it. I stared at it for a long time, frozen in place. I didn't want to read it. I knew whatever it said would be worse, but I had to know. With a deep breath, I snatched it off the floor. The message was just 4 words, but they shattered my world. "I'm in here with you." That was it. I didn't scream. I didn't even think "Ihuspolte." I ripped the door open and sprinted down the hallway, not stopping until I slammed into the front desk, gasping for air. The night clerk looked at me like I was crazy. I tried to explain, rambling about the notes, about someone being in my room. He went up to check, and I waited, my heart hammering against my ribs. He came back down a few minutes later and said the room was empty. But then he told me something that made the hair on my arm stand up. The latch on my window was broken, not from the inside, but from the outside. It had been pried open. The hotel had no security cameras in the hallways, and of course no one admitted to anything. I never went back to that room. I grabbed my things the next morning and checked out, never looking back. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that whoever wrote those notes wasn't just some random intruder. They knew the hotel, knew how to get in and out of rooms without being seen. I'm convinced they had been in that room long before I ever checked in. And sometimes, late at night, I wonder if they ever really left at all. Thanks for listening to my story. If you have a chilling experience you'd like to share, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more true stories. Stay safe out there.